welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as promised, is gonna be the new LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation test, wear, and review. I am super excited to test this foundation out. I've seen people do videos on this foundation, but I haven't watched any, so I don't know basically anything about this foundation. So I'm super excited to try it out. I know that they have another foundation, but this matte one is the newest one, and it claims to be a high definition long wear matte foundation. So I'm super excited to see how it wears on my face. So if you're interested in watching this video, go ahead and keep on watching. And if you are new here, make sure you hit that little button down below before you go. And let's just jump right into the video. Okay, so I will say this foundation, I went to Ulta today and I returned the medium beige that I picked up because medium beige really looks like porcelain, and they have such a bad selection of colors. I want to say they had, I think like 8 or 9 colors. I might be wrong, but dude, 8 or 9 colors? Like, are you kidding me? I couldn't even find one that matched me, and I'm not that tan. Can you imagine darker girls out there? That's a little bit ridiculous. I feel like they need to step their game up hardcore. I think like L'Oreal and Maybelline have such a good range of colors, or even Revlon has a lot of good range of colors. They need to step their game up. I had to buy 2 foundations today because I couldn't find a perfect match for me, and I was so torn on just not even purchasing any of it because it pissed me off to spend money on 2, and I don't even know if I'm gonna like this foundation. But I promised you guys this video, so here we go. So I originally picked up medium beige. It was too light. Then I believe there was one called light tan, which is this one. It went medium beige, light tan, sand, and then this one's cafe, which is their darkest. Guys, this is their darkest. Is this not crazy? So sand looked a little bit like a pink, cooler undertone, whereas light tan was more warm, but this is still too light for me, and then cafe is still too dark for me. So here we are. I'm just gonna mix them together and we're gonna figure this out and do this review. And if I don't like it, then I don't like it. Okay, so to start off by priming our skin, I'm gonna jump into the Cetaphil Moisturizing Lotion. I haven't used this in forever, so I'm excited to use this again. This is honestly just a lotion, but I like to use it as a primer because it does have some glycerin in it. So it does basically serve the same purpose. It makes your skin tacky, adhering your foundation to your skin. So I clearly put way too much on, and it's about like 6 o'clock right now. I know it's a little bit late to be doing a wear test, but I figured why not just wear it for like 4 to 5 hours and see how it works. That's typically like how long people wear foundations anyways, unless you wear it to go to work and you're wearing it for like 8 hours. But when I typically wear foundation, it's only basically like 4 to 5 hours. When I go out on a date night, or if I'm just running errands for the day, I'm not a big foundation, like full makeup wearer all day long, because by the end of the day, it drives me nuts and I just want to take it off of my face so fast. Okay, so now that we've worked it into the skin and my skin is pretty tacky, as you guys can tell, like, I don't know if you can see it, my hand's sticking to it. Okay, so I'm gonna take, let me show you guys the color difference. Okay, so this is cafe. Do you guys see like how dark that is? For me, I guess you can say, but it does look pretty matte. And then I'm gonna show you guys light tan. This is light tan right here, and then this one is pretty light. As you can tell, like if I put that on my neck, it kind of looks like a concealer for me, and then if I put this other one on my neck, it looks too dark. But I wonder if we mix it together, if we get a good shade range. Let's just hope it doesn't oxidize, because if it does, then we're totally screwed and I'm gonna look like Oompa Loompa after the rest of the video. It does look pretty matte though when I blend it in, so I'm pretty excited about that. If I have to choose between dewy and matte, I would always go matte. I kind of like a mixture of both, where it kind of gives you like a natural skin finish, but you're not so like oily looking, but you're not so matte. So I kind of like both. But so I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do 2 pumps of cafe and 2 pumps of light tan, and I'm gonna take a brush and just mix those 2 together, kind of creating a concoction. And let's test this out. Okay, so that still looks a little tan for my liking, but I'm gonna go in with concealer later, so let's hope we can lighten that up. But you know what? I'm gonna take one more pump of light tan, strictly, and then just go in with a beauty blender and kind of rub that on top of everything else. And let's see what happens. I'm gonna zoom you guys in real quick so you guys can really see. Okay, so it's not too bad of a color. It's still a little bit orange than I would like. And maybe on my like tan summer days, this might work out well. I just don't understand, like, when brands come out with colors, how they only are like, oh cool, let's just come out with 10 colors. Like, unless, I guess maybe like they're doing it as like a test run just to see if like people like their foundation. But I just feel like that's a little crazy. Like, you guys always come out with a lot of lighter skin tones, but then never enough tan ones. Like, I really wanted to buy the Tarte foundation, the new one that just came out, and again, that one I went to Ulta and I couldn't find my color. It was just so frustrating. This one's a little bit different because this foundation is only like $8, I think, and today it was like buy one get one 40%. But for example, that Tarte one is like 40 bucks, and it's like, you don't have my right color, and I'm not gonna buy 2 of them. Like, dude, I'm not gonna spend 80 bucks if you guys don't have the right color. You know what I mean? Like, so crazy. Okay, so far, I don't think that's too bad of a color. Let's just hope in like 5 minutes I don't turn into like a Oompa Loompa. So let me check it out. Okay, so I will say I don't think it's like a full coverage foundation. I want to say it's a little bit light to medium foundation. I don't know how buildable it is. I know like my nose, I can still see a lot of skin underneath my nose. Let me try to build up and see like what happens. I mean, it's a little bit buildable. I put a little bit and it covered a little bit more, but it didn't cover like a lot. So I will say this is like a medium, light to medium coverage. I mean, so far it's not bad at all. It's not bringing out my pores. It's not bringing out any fine lines. It literally just looks like, it honestly doesn't really look too matte, and it still feels kind of sticky. So I don't know how long it takes for it to dry down, but I'm gonna jump off real quick, go ahead and finish my makeup, and then come right back in about 30 minutes and let you know how it's sitting into my skin. So we're gonna go from this to this. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I finished applying all my makeup, and this is a look that I came up with today. Honestly, I'm really liking this foundation so far. It's only been about 30 to 40 minutes since I went ahead and I finished my entire face, and I'm really enjoying this makeup look and this foundation. Granted, it's only been 30 minutes, but so far I really like the way it's sitting on my skin. It just seems very like lightweight. Like I said earlier, it was a light to medium foundation, but once I applied my cream contour, my concealer, my powder, my bronzer, my blush, everything, it became really full coverage, and I really like the way it looks. It's not sinking into any fine lines, it's not bringing out any pores, it's not like really like drying up or kicking up anywhere, especially like around my nose and right here. It usually cakes up a lot. Even my EX1 foundation does that, and this one is not at all. I'm really liking it, but again, it's only been 30 to 40 minutes. I will say though that the foundation never really dried down for me. It kind of stayed a little sticky, and I know it's supposed to be a matte foundation, so it's supposed to dry down. So I don't know if that had to do with the Cetaphil that I use that left it a little bit tacky. But once I went ahead and I set my entire face with the Airspun powder, I felt like it really dried down and it really sunk into my skin, and it just looks so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in real quick so you guys can take a look at my skin. Don't mind my chin guard right now of just breakouts, but the rest of my skin looks pretty good. Okay, so now that you're up and personal, I know that you guys can see my breakouts right here, but as far as the rest of my skin looks, I do feel like it looks pretty airbrushed and flawless. The two colors mixed together ended up looking pretty well and matching my skin pretty well. It does suck that I ended up having to use two colors in order to match my skin, but typically I do like to mix a lot of foundation, so it wasn't too difficult. But I will say it does suck that their shade range is so bad, but I hope they come out with a better shade range soon for all you other darker skin tones or tan girls like me. I'm gonna go ahead and do a flashback test, take a picture of myself, and then post it right here to see what the flashback looks like. That actually turned out pretty well. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's definitely absolutely zero flashback, which is amazing for a drugstore foundation to have absolutely no flashback. And I even used a drugstore setting powder and no flashback whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and wear this makeup and this look for a little bit longer, probably like 2 to 3 more hours. Come back and check in with you guys and let you know how it sat on my skin and how it's doing so far. And by the way, if you guys are interested in seeing how I came up with this makeup look right here and this eye look, let me know. It's pretty much like a smoked out wing liner, all mattes, just basically focusing on the wing liner without being an actual wing, just kind of a smoked out version. Let me know if you guys want to see that down below, and I will see you guys in 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so it is about 11:30 and I still have a mess in this room, so I think I'm gonna have you guys pick it up with me, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish off this review on this foundation. But so far, I'm like really pleasantly surprised, and I typically don't like a lot of foundations. I'm kind of really picky with them, but this one, I'm quite impressed. So let's pick up the room and then let's do the final review.
This is typically what I look like when I film. Sweatshirt and sweater.
Alright guys, so I am back for the final review. Honestly guys, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It is 11:30 tonight and this makeup looks so good still. It is breaking up a little bit around my nose, but that's pretty much normal. I feel like with a lot of foundations after a couple hours. Typically with a lot of foundations, it likes to settle into my fine lines or my smile lines, and none of that at all today. Or my forehead lines, those are looking pretty good as well. I did go ahead and set those with powder afterwards, but typically sometimes my smile lines I always have to kind of like push into my skin. The same with my forehead, but so far so good with this foundation. I am really pleasantly surprised, especially for it being a drugstore foundation for like $8, and you can get buy one get one 40 at Ulta. Like literally, this is really impressive. Like I said though earlier, I didn't feel like it dried down matte completely. I did have to go in and set it with some powder, but that's no big deal to me as long as it makes me look really flawless, really airbrushed, and my skin look pretty good. You get an A in my book. So far I really like this foundation. I'm going to continue to wear it. But so far on this wear test, it worked out really well. So if you guys have picked it up, if you guys have tried it, let me know down below what you guys think of that as well. And if you guys want to see this eye look in my next video, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. Let me know. Once again, I've said that like 20 times, but for real, let me know if you guys like these kind of videos. I can continue to buy some foundations. I am in need of some foundations for myself, so I'm really eager to hear some of the foundation you guys like. Maybe I will buy them and test them out as well. So anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye guys. Oh, and I almost forgot. Let me zoom you guys in again so you guys can see the final look after wearing this for about 3 to 4 hours. I know I didn't wear it for that long. I started this video late, but typically you guys only really wear makeup from 3 to 4 hours depending on if you guys are going out on a date night or a night out. I know I dropped the ball on that. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see just a little bit breakage and a little bit of fading around my nose. But other than that, everything really looks exactly the same from when I first applied it. I honestly never really have a lot of problems with foundations. I don't know if it's the way I like set my makeup. I feel like everything lasts really well. If I ever do have a lot of problems with foundation, it's that I get a really oily here and around my forehead. Like when I use the Makeup Forever foundation stick, it makes me extremely greasy. but that's really the only foundation I've ever had a lot of problems with. The other ones typically are pretty good. So I hope you guys can see, and I hope you guys are impressed, but I will officially let you go. Bye guys.